Robert Berger in Jerusalem. He is a CBS News radio correspondent. Robert, welcome. What is the latest you can tell us from where you are in Jerusalem?
Another very violent day all across Israel, the Gaza Strip, and now even the West Bank. Violence spreading to a number of flashpoints in the West Bank, at least 8 Palestinians killed. We haven't seen that kind of violence in the West Bank for a long time. What's happening is you're seeing the conflict spread. It started in Jerusalem, then went to Israel, Gaza, which of course, there's still major violence going on there with Israeli airstrikes and Palestinian rockets, and now spreading to the West Bank with clashes there. So all in all, a very violent day. Israeli.
So, Robert, our CBS News producer in Gaza told us in our network production meeting this morning that he's lived through clashes between Israel and Gaza for many years, but he said he's never seen or experienced anything like what is happening right now. You yourself have also covered this region for a while. So, Robert, what makes this particular clash different, and what do you foresee in the next few days?
It's such a heavy Israeli pounding of Gaza. The last Gaza war in 2014 lasted 50 days. What we're hearing from some military sources is that Israel has wreaked the same destruction on Gaza or close to it in just 5 days. Very heavy pounding. A good example is last night. 160 warplanes fired 400 missiles in a span of 40 minutes, virtually destroying Hamas's tunnel network. That's where they move weapons and soldiers and also take cover from Israeli airstrikes. About 80% of that, it's called the Metro, was destroyed, and it's believed that a lot of Hamas fighters are buried there. So very, very intense bombing. And as far as what I foresee, I think there is a possibility for a ceasefire. I think Israel is starting to achieve some of its military goals. Maybe Hamas is taking a bad beating, but both sides still want to achieve certain things. I think a key event will be Sunday when the UN Security Council is due to convene. Maybe they'll come up with a resolution for a ceasefire.
So, you mentioned that there is a heavy pounding by the Israelis, and Robert, we are hearing that over 100 Palestinians in Gaza are reportedly dead, compared to fewer numbers in Israel. We're hearing 8 right now. I'm sure that number is not yet fully confirmed, but why is there such a vast difference in these numbers?
Well, military power. Israel is using F-16s, which is a high-tech weapon, and the rockets that the Palestinians are using are low-tech weapons. They are not accurate. Israel also, every Israeli home is required to have a bomb shelter. And there's also air raid sirens. So people hear sirens and they run for cover, and they have bomb shelters to go to. In Gaza, the opposite is true. There's no sirens. There's no bomb shelters. The homes are not well built. It's one of the poorest areas in the world. It's also the most densely populated area in the world. So people really have nowhere to hide on the Gaza side.
Robert Berger in Jerusalem, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.